Zuko, a Seattle story nobody talks about. Part 1. The Line, the Morning. October in Seattle smells like wet concrete and dead leaves. By 5:47 a.m., the line outside Hollow Toy Collective on Pike Street stretched past the corner and halfway down the block. People had slept there, on folding chairs, in sleeping bags, wrapped in Carhartt jackets with thermoses of cold coffee in their laps. All of them waiting. All of them for the same thing. Emma Calloway stood behind the glass door and watched them. She had worked at Hollow Toy Collective for 3 years. Sales associate. The kind of job people looked down on until they saw the prices on the tags. Rare dolls, imported art figures, limited-run collectibles that sold for thousands on the secondary market. Emma loved this world. The quiet obsession of it. The way a tiny piece of painted resin could make a grown adult stand in line at 6 in the morning in the rain. She understood it. She lived it. But today was different. Today, the shipment had included a Golden Zuko. Zuko was a collectible figure, originally designed by a Japanese artist, manufactured in South Korea. Small body, large hollow eyes, and a wide grin full of uneven teeth. The kind of smile that made you look twice, then wish you hadn't. The Golden Edition was rarer still. 500 units. Worldwide. One of them was now sitting in Emma's palm. She turned it over slowly. The surface was warm, warmer than plastic had any right to be, especially fresh out of a cold shipping box. She told herself it was nothing. Friction. Her own body heat. She raised it to eye level. Its grin did not waver. Emma took out her phone, shot a photo, posted it. He found me. Blackheart. She got 300 likes before she even opened the store. Part 2. Home. Daniel. Emma lived in a 4th-floor apartment in Capitol Hill. She shared it with her husband, Daniel Calloway. 3 years married, graphic designer, freelance, worked from home in sweatpants, and rarely remembered to eat lunch. He was a good man, most of the time. When Emma got home that evening, she placed Zuko on the bedroom shelf, above her other pieces, in the spot where the light hit best. The gold caught it perfectly. Something in her chest felt settled, the way it does when a thing is exactly where it belongs. Daniel leaned against the doorframe and looked. New one. Golden Zuko. Limited run. 500 in the world. He didn't say anything else. But Emma noticed the way his eyes stayed on the shelf a beat longer than they should have. Something moved across his face. Not quite recognition, not quite fear. Something she couldn't name. She should have tried harder to name it. Dinner was quiet. Daniel pushed his food around. Emma asked if he was okay. He said, yeah, just tired. She believed him. At 11 o'clock, she got up for water. Past the bedroom, Daniel was standing in front of the shelf. Just standing, both arms at his sides. His lips were moving, barely, just a faint tremor, like he was reading something only he could see. Daniel. He turned. His eyes were empty for 1 full second. Then he blinked and smiled. Just getting water. His hands were empty. Part 3. The slow unraveling. The next week, Daniel changed. Not all at once. Not dramatically. Just incrementally wrong. The way mold moves through a wall before it breaks through the surface. He snapped at small things. Missed deadlines. Stopped answering client emails. Left dishes in the sink. Forgot to shower some days. Stopped asking Emma how her day was. But every few hours, without fail, he'd disappear into the bedroom. She'd find him later, standing or sitting, eyes fixed on the shelf. On Zuko, always on Zuko. Meanwhile, Emma's own edges were fraying. A difficult customer came into the store one Thursday afternoon, loud, unreasonable, demanding a return on something store policy didn't cover. Emma had slept badly 4 nights in a row. Her patience was a thread. The customer pushed it. Emma, I think I like Jenna. Has for a while now, actually. A small, apologetic laugh. You're great, Maya. Just not like that. The rest of the ride passed in silence. When they pulled up outside her building, Maya got out without a word, stood on the sidewalk while his taillights disappeared into the rain, and only then let herself fall apart. Inside, soaked and shaking, she yanked open her dresser drawer, pawing through it without really seeing what was in front of her, just needing something. Anything. To make the ache in her chest stop for 1 minute. Her hands were trembling so badly, she barely registered the strange object sitting at the back of the drawer until her fingers closed around it. An hourglass. Old, the wood dark with age, the glass somehow still warm. She hadn't put it there. She'd never seen it before in her life. You're the one who didn't get what she wanted. Maya spun around. A woman stood in the corner of her room, ash pale, eyes like wet stone, dressed in something that looked older than the building itself. Maya's back hit the wall. Who? How did you get in here? It doesn't matter how I got in. What matters is what you're holding. The woman's gaze dropped to the hourglass. Make a wish and turn it over. As the sand falls, your wish falls into place beside it. But remember, once it starts, it doesn't stop on its own. What are you talking about? What is this? When Maya blinked, the woman was gone. She told herself it was exhaustion, grief, a very bad dream. Until she opened her eyes the next morning and the hourglass was still sitting on her nightstand, exactly where it shouldn't have been. She stared at it a long time before she finally picked it up, turned it over, and whispered the only wish that mattered to her: I want Ethan to love me. That same afternoon, walking to class, Ethan appeared in front of her out of nowhere, and the look on his face was nothing like the one from the rainy car ride. It was something closer to wonder. Panting, hands shaking, sweat on his forehead at 6 in the morning. Emma sat up and looked at his hands. Small marks, along the palm and the inside of his wrist, like scratches or teeth marks. This thing is done, he said. It's not staying here. Emma didn't argue. She had her own reasons for wanting it gone by then. She just hadn't let herself say them out loud. Daniel put Zuko in a paper bag, put on shoes, went downstairs, dropped it in the dumpster behind the building, came back up. That night they ate dinner together, talked, laughed, even at something stupid on TV. Daniel held her hand on the couch. It felt like breathing again after being underwater. Emma thought, it's over. We're fine. Part 6, it came back. Next morning, Emma was making coffee. She filled her mug, turned around, and Zuko was on the kitchen counter. His broken tooth was stained dark red. Her mug hit the floor. She called Daniel. He picked up on the second ring. Daniel, it's back. Silence. I threw it away, Emma. I know. I watched it go into the dumpster. I know. It's on the counter. He was home in 20 minutes. He didn't touch it. Neither of them did for a while. They just stood in the kitchen looking at it, at that small golden thing sitting between the coffee maker and the paper towel holder, grinning at both of them. Then Daniel picked it up with a dish towel, and they made a plan. Part 7, Fire and Water. The backyard had a metal burn barrel that the previous tenant had left behind. Daniel filled it with lighter fluid. Emma dropped Zuko in. She watched it burn. The gold paint bubbled. The plastic melted and curled inward. The wide grin softened, stretched, and disappeared into a black liquid mass. The smoke that rose from it smelled wrong. Not like burning plastic, like something older, like something that had been waiting a long time to be let out. When there was nothing left but gray ash, they collected it in a Ziploc bag. They drove to Lake Washington Inn. Silence. Emma opened the bag. The ash scattered across the surface of the water and sank. Daniel took her hand. They drove home without speaking. But it was a different kind of silence, lighter. The kind that comes after something is truly finished. It's done, Emma thought. We burned it. We scattered the ash. It's done. Part 8, the internet. But she couldn't sleep. At 1 a.m., she picked up her phone and typed into the search bar, Zuko Golden Edition Horror. Zuko toy won't stay gone. Zuko cursed collectors. The results came back fast. A Reddit thread from a woman in Portland, Oregon. She'd written that after Zuko came into her house, something broke every week. First objects, then her marriage, then her health. The account was deleted. The post was preserved in a screenshot someone else had shared. A forum post from a man in Austin, Texas. He'd thrown his Zuko out 5 separate times. 5 times it came back. He'd stopped throwing it away. You can't win by fighting it, he wrote. You just have to accept it. His last post was from 8 months ago. Nobody had heard from him since. And then, a 2-year-old thread from Brooklyn, New York. Username, u/hollow_smiles_99. The post read, "If you burn it, scatter the ash in moving water. But understand something. It doesn't matter. Because Zuko isn't a physical object. It's an idea, a feeling that latches onto you. And feelings don't burn. You can destroy every molecule it's made of, and it will still be there. In the corner of the room, in the part of your brain you can't turn off, in the cold thing you feel on your chest at 3 a.m. The only question is whether it got there first, or whether you invited it." The account had been permanently suspended. No further activity. No explanation. Emma sat in the dark for a long time. She thought about waking Daniel. She decided against it. He was sleeping peacefully, the first real sleep he'd had in weeks, and she didn't want to pull him back into it. She put her phone face D on the nightstand, closed her eyes, told herself it was over. Part 9, the last night. 3 a.m. Emma's eyes opened. The laugh again. Soft. Pressed down. Barely there. She stared at the ceiling. Daniel breathing steadily beside her. Room dark. Shelf empty. She could see it from the bed. She'd checked before sleeping. It was empty. "It's over. You burned it. You scattered it. It's in the lake." She exhaled slowly, and then she felt it. At her feet. Cold. Small. Heavy in a way that had nothing to do with weight. Emma did not look down. She didn't look down for a very long time. Whatever she saw after that, she never told anyone, because she never got the chance. The papers. Seattle Times, November 3rd, 2024. Unexplained death in Capitol Hill. Investigation ongoing. Emma Calloway, 29, was found unresponsive in her Capitol Hill apartment on Sunday morning. Her husband, Daniel Calloway, called 911 at approximately 6:15 a.m. Paramedics pronounced her dead on the scene. No signs of forced entry. No signs of struggle. Cause of death listed as undetermined pending autopsy. Investigators noted small abrasions on Emma's hands and forearms, the origin of which has not been identified. Neighbors on the fourth floor reported hearing laughter sometime around 3 a.m. The bedroom shelf was empty. Seattle Times, November 24th, 2024. Second death at Capitol Hill address. Police baffled. Daniel Calloway, 31, was found unresponsive in his apartment on Friday morning. Officers were called after neighbors reported 3 days of silence from the unit. No cause of death has been determined. No evidence of foul play. The case has been flagged as unusual given the circumstances of his wife's death at the same address 3 weeks prior. The apartment was otherwise undisturbed. On the bedroom shelf, the same shelf that had been noted as empty in the initial investigation, officers found a single item, a small collectible figurine. Gold. Smiling. Epilogue. 1 month later. Holotoy Collective is permanently closed. A paper sign on the door says, "Thank you for your support." No other explanation. But some mornings, early, before the street fills up, people still appear outside the shuttered storefront, standing in a loose, quiet line, waiting for something they can't name, drawn by something they can't explain. The neighbors say they hear it sometimes, late at night, coming from somewhere near the sealed door. A laugh. Soft. Suppressed. Like someone trying very hard to hold it in. Like someone who can't quite manage to stop. Zuko is still out there. On somebody's shelf. In somebody's city. In somebody's bedroom. Maybe you've seen one. Maybe you have one. Or maybe, right now, in the room behind you, something is looking at your back. And smiling. The end. KM Underground Horror Series Seattle, Washington 2024.